Babylon the Great is fallen. America is on its last leg. I want to give all the honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, Shem, RAWACHAA, QADASH. Double honors to the elders at Great Millstone, taught me the truth through the Spirit. Single honors to the elect. Peace and blessings be to all the saints of men, women, and children that do consist of the 1/3. Peace and blessings to the confusion of faces in the four corners of the earth. Shalom. Understanding. Putin declares American world order is ending. A truly multipolar world has begun. This is Jeremiah 51:89. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. America is Babylon the Great. Now, economically, America is in shambles. A lot of bread in circuses, like during the time of the Romans, because of the end that's to come. So you keep the masses distracted with all kind of attractions and things of that nature. You can see they're losing their world power with BRICS want to become the new world reserve. You can see the debacle in Afghanistan after 20 years, how the world was just laughing at America, right? It doesn't have that stronghold. The other nations that didn't have atomic bombs or hydrogen bombs back then, some of those nations have that now. So Putin making that statement is beautiful, because Putin goes back to Gog and Magog in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. Okay? Where it speaks about the Lord putting the hooks back in the jaw, which pretty much is Russia going back to the USSR days. Ever since they invaded Ukraine, we're getting closer and closer to those 6 or 7 trumpets. Alright? Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And understanding the word Babylon, Babal means confusion, Lan means land. America is Babylon, the land of confusion. It is a cauldron of all sorts of people from all different walks of life, from all different nations on the earth. Almost synonymous to when Alexander the Greek Hellenized the known world, right? So, but everyone's being what? Americanized or westernized, as they like to call it. At the end of the day, whether you claim to be Russian, Ukrainian, or American, you're still an Edomite, so-called white person, right? But this is all biblical prophecy on why Russia's being so bold. I don't want to say brash, because they really being on the defense because of America wanting to put Ukraine into NATO, but they talking about putting nuclear weapons on their land. Oh no. I mean, y'all really don't know why Russia invaded Ukraine. I mean, that's you're declaring war when you invade another land. It's the reason why they did that, y'all. Keep poking the bear, then the bear now wake up from hibernation and he ready to eat. This is verse 9. We will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go, every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. The judgment of America is lifted up to the heavens. In other words, you have a rap sheet so long, you could probably circle or double the heavens. The word America comes from the Latin navigator Amerigo Vespucci. America is a feminized format of saying that. America means bitter. Look it up. So this is a bitter land. But who is it bitter to when people are happy to be here and they can indulge in all their lust and wickedness? The people who bitter here, who should be bitter here, are the so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans. Because of that is what made America. And everyone's partaking in this known world crime, I should say. That's why it's going to be destroyed. That's why. Because think of all the atrocities on how it was built. Then after that, what about all those coups down in South America? Then after that, what about colonizing China? Watch the movie The Forbidden Kingdom. That was the last dynasty, if I'm not mistaken. How the hell are you going to have the same people split from North Korea and South Korea, but you back in the South and the North and the South fighting? Why you over in the China Seas, man? Bickering and arguing against China because you want to have your foot over there because China is the enemy of you because they're not a part of NATO or of EU. Huh? Why you try to invade Syria? Look at what you did to Egypt, Sudan, Libya, Yemen. The millions that have died in Yemen, and you still keep giving weapons of mass destruction to Saudi Arabia? The deceived and the deceiver are the Lord's. Alright? Pardon me. The war in Ukraine could mark the end of an international world order led by the United States, according to the latest comments from Russian President Vladimir Putin. What happened? Putin told lawmakers in Russia that the dominance of the U.S. could be over soon, according to a report from Newsweek. Wow. They should have realized that they have already lost from the very beginning of our special military operation, Putin said. Its beginning also means the beginning of a radical breakdown of the American world order. Hey, that reminds me of Jeremiah where it says, how is the hammer of the whole earth broke asunder? Ooh. Let me read this. Mark chapter 3, verse 23 through 26. And he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? Satan, Shaitan, means enemy. And I'm rooting for Vladimir Putin. But guess what? You're still descended from Esau. Just like you got the so-called Puerto Ricans, the so-called Mexican, the so-called all the other South American, Central American, and Spanish-speaking people. They guess what? They related to the so-called African American here, the so-called Haitian, so-called Jamaican, the Native Americans. We all the same people. We all descended from Jacob. So it don't matter if you claim to be from anywhere in Europe or not American. You still an Edomite, and we are still Israelites. Right? And the Lord said we were sold unto our enemies. So all of y'all really are enemies. It's just the truth. Look at your track record. You can call me racist all you want, but it's the truth. Right? Verse 24, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. This is your rulership. Job 9:24, the earth given to the hands of the wicked. I can care less about y'all bickering and arguing. But really, it's a part of prophecy, so I do care. Because y'all going to take each other out. Via thermonuclear warheads. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. So you got Edomite going against Edomite. Y'all about to destroy the world, quote unquote. And then it's funny, man. Y'all like petty kids. It's just like Esau. How you gonna sell your birthright for a morsel of meat, and then when you find out Jacob, our forefather, didn't steal it, it was a fair exchange, he received a blessing, you still cried to Isaac. What about me, man? Come on, man. Y'all little kids, yo. So the Lord gave you the sword, which is your military might. I mean, come on now. They said that Alexander the Great, man, he was so swift, man. He was swift. To the point that even some of his soldiers were like, yo, we going too far. Yo, can we, hey, I want to go back. I miss my family. Can we go back home? He wanted to kept going. Because you're supposed to live by the sword. They said it was like his feet never touched the ground. Man, you know you was taking over a lot of land. And lo and behold, what happened after the Renaissance? What it said in Peaky in the Brain. What are we going to do today? Try to take over the world. And they did it. But it was all biblical prophecy. Job 9:24. Verse 26, and if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but have an end. Exactly. But have an end. What the hell was that? It's Lockett. Weird bug was on it. Right. So you're going to have an end. Which is really going to be all of you Edomites. I don't care where you claim you from. Right? 2nd Esdras 6 and 7 through 9. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first, In the beginning of it that followeth. Remember, Jacob and Esau was born simultaneously at the same time, which would make them twins, not identical, but paternal twins. Yes, there is a such thing, right? Continuing on. So in other words, the so-called black man here in America, we have a stronger genetic relation biologically with the so-called white man here than we do with those Hamites, them Africans over there. Man, y'all really didn't understand, man. It's spiritual. You wouldn't understand it. Even though it's biological, something that's carnal that you can look up, you wouldn't understand it. Because you carnal. You look at the flesh, you won't look at the spirit. So when shall be the end of the first, which Esau came out first, and the beginning of it that followeth, Jacob came out, which would be so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. That's what we're doing when we're bringing out the scriptures and correlating it with everyday events and being in defense of the gospel and chanting down Babylon. All we're doing, y'all, is reading the Bible. And as these events take course through the spirit of power, YAHAWASHI, and then from our elders, a great millstone on down, we're able to warn you. That's the whole purpose of this ministry, to be a watchman. We have to watch for you. All right? Continuing. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So that means to tell you that the entire world will not be destroyed. This society as you see it today shall be destroyed. No more cars. No more anime. No more drag racing. No more Lear jets. No more vacations. No more skydiving. No more Chuck E. Cheese. No more Dave and Buster's. No more cross-country trips. No. The earth is going to be ruling under the guise of YAHAWASHI, by QADASH. The holy angels, the archangels, King David, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all our forefathers, and the holy women, all of that. All of you nations are going to be ruling. I'm sorry. You're going to be under us, under our rulership. And why? Why is that going to happen? Like, why would God do such a thing? This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 4 through 8. 4 and 8, forgive me. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord. Job 9:24, right? And in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Well, you had your chance since the Renaissance, and look at what you've done. How the hell we got tons and tons of debris orbiting the earth? The Lord said he will destroy them that destroy the earth. Hell, you destroying the atmosphere, the ozone layer, the entire habitation that you got to live on. That's like being a fish in a fishbowl, and then I'm just going to pour cyanide in there. You're not fit to rule. You're contrary to life itself. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings. This is why I say all this is going to happen. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the Lord said we shall be sold to our enemy, right? Deuteronomy 28 and 68. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. Now, like I say, go to 2 Peter the 3rd chapter. Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought we to be in all holy conversation? Exactly. And hey, that NYC nuclear bomb alert, whatever y'all, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Not gonna work. It's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Lord. And it just so happened that y'all fell into the left hand. But with that being said, I pray that y'all's edified and fed. Stay in the spirit. Don't fear it. Just endure it. Ask for forgiveness. Pray without ceasing. Stay humble. Remain diligent. YAHAWAH. Shalom.